All right guys, so we got the crankshaft in, everything spins freely. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put these rings on. Hopefully tonight I'll at least be able to go ahead and get the like I said, the rotating assembly done, and that should be pretty good. And then I just want to talk to you about the overall setup of the car and my expectations. So this isn't a how to build an engine. I'm just gonna fast forward through a lot of this, and then we'll sit down for a few minutes tonight after I'm done, and we'll talk about the expectations with the engine. So we're putting our rod bearings in right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and make sure your rings are not lined up. So this is what we're gonna do here. I already got number one piston in. We're gonna roll this thing over like this. Now guys, I'm just gonna do this one, and we're gonna go ahead and talk about this engine tonight. So I've already cleaned everything really good, but I'm just gonna give it a final wipe down. Now, everybody does things differently, okay? That's something that I do want everybody to know. Make sure your hands are clean if you're gonna do this. This is just the way I like to do it. I like to get some oil right here. Oil up the cylinder walls pretty good. I have verified that the chamfer on the rod is facing in the right direction toward the crankshaft. So you do have to check that anytime you've had any machine work done, because it could be off, right? In other words, this says facing the front of the engine right here, but you have to make sure that that's right. So if we put this thing in facing the front of the engine, we need to make sure that the chamfer side, which is that side, is facing your crankshaft. I'm gonna go ahead and put some assembly lube on this, because I'm bad about, if I don't go ahead and do it right now, I'm bad about forgetting to do it. So sometimes it doesn't want to go. Like I said, this isn't an engine tutorial, building tutorial, but just make sure all your locks line up. Just a little bit of assembly lube here. You don't want to put too much on it. Just a nice clean swipe. Make sure your hands are clean, or your gloves are clean. Don't ever touch it with your bare hands, of course. And make sure that you line this up correctly. So these things are marked. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about what the plans are with this engine. This is just a simple rebuild, guys. Nothing to it. It's I think a 68 302 block. There again, 30 over aftermarket like Speed Pro pistons. Inside the engine already we have a trick flow stage 1 camshaft. Now, if I'm being honest, I got that idea from Dover, by the way, so shout out to Dover. It's a really good idea. So if I'm being honest with you, the trick flow stage 1 camshaft is actually really good with an automatic car. And I'm speaking from experience, because I had the trick flow stage 1 in the Calypso clone, and man, that thing ran great. It had 14 gears in it, the SVE aluminum heads, and the stock bottom end car, and it ran great. No converter, none of that. The car was impressive. Had 19-pound injectors with an Explorer upper and lower intake. So the plan is to get this engine put together and go get the other AOD. I'm having So I'm having issues with the AOD that's in the Carbon Fox, the Moon Fox, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what we're going to call it yet. So that car has problems with the transmission. So what I think we'll do is go over to my dad's house and get the old AOD that came out of the Calypso clone. I'm going to do 373 gears or 410, I'm not sure yet. And we're going to do the Canfield heads. I'm going to send them to the machine shop, get a valve job on them, make sure they're good. Throw those Canfields on this setup right here with a ported Explorer intake, more than likely. I don't know, we may run the trick flow that's on it. I just don't like the way they look, and they're aggravating, they get in the way of everything. 19-pound injectors. We may run the 3500 stall that we have. So I guess the question that most people have is, why are you doing this right now? Like, is there something wrong with the car? I don't know. I know it doesn't run very good and it doesn't go into overdrive. It sounds like it's got a bottom end knock. It very well just could be valve train or something. But guys, I know nothing about that engine at all. I don't know if it was thrown together like I'm doing this. I don't know if it was professionally built. I don't know if they built it in a freaking kid's sandbox, for all I know. I mean, I have no clue in it. It concerns me because I want to drive this car a lot. Like, I want to drive this thing a lot. So I want something that at least I know that I put my hands on. If something happens to this thing, I'll have an idea maybe of what it is, right? I'll check everything over, make sure everything's good, and I'll have a peace of mind. I'd like to have it done by Ford takeover. I'm not going to put that time pressure on myself to make it happen. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We still have interior work to do to this thing, and guys, I've got a ton of interior stuff coming for this car. So should all actually be here tomorrow or the next day. So we're going to redo the interior on this thing, make it look new again. And also, I didn't really show you guys, but we obviously got new rings, we got new bearings, we got a new oil pump, high volume oil pump, which I particularly like. I know a lot of people don't. High volume oil pump. We've got a new oil pan gasket. We're just going to start robbing parts off of some of these other engines to make this work. Inside of this cabinet right here are a bunch of new Fox body parts. So we got headers, we've got X pipes, H pipes. I mean, we've got all sorts of stuff. New alternator bracket, for some reason I don't even know why I bought that. So this thing should be pretty much fully assembled before it ever goes in. I was going to go ahead and stab all the whole rotating assembly in this thing tonight, but it's getting kind of late and I'd rather just wait. So I think we'll stop right here with these two pistons. I'm going to go ahead, torque them down, and we'll call it a night. I do want to check it, roll it over a couple times, make sure everything's free. When we pull the engine out, that's where the engine bay is going to get done, right? We're going to paint the engine bay up, base coat, clear coat, all that stuff, make it look really, really nice. That's the goal here. I do want this engine to look good. I know it's blue, but it'll be fine. Everything else will probably be gray and black to kind of match with maybe a hint of blue here or there. All right, look guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. And as always, thanks for watching.